Hold up y'all, because today we need to talk about Papoose, also known these days as Remy Ma's estranged husband and, according to some critics online, Claressa Shields' unofficial married man. Now, as everyone knows, yesterday was Father's Day. And before anything else, shout out to all the fathers out there truly stepping up and taking care of their responsibilities. But there was something about Pap that really caught my attention. And honestly, the whole thing looked incredibly strange. This is someone who will usually post for just about any reason, whether it's major news or absolutely nothing happening at all. Yet, while I watched his page throughout Father's Day, I noticed he seemed focused on only one of his 4 children the entire day. Right away, I found myself thinking, wait a minute, doesn't this man have 4 kids? What exactly is happening here? Anyway, let's get into the post that remained up for most of the day because the entire situation had me completely confused. In the message, Pap spoke about 2 young women, his niece and his daughter, explaining that although they're first cousins, he has always treated both of them like daughters. He shared that they were once extremely close but hadn't spoken for several years. He then explained that he'd been waiting for the perfect opportunity to bring them together in the same place at the same time. According to him, he helped raise both of them in real life and told them his only Father's Day wish was for them to put their differences aside. He stressed that life is short, family matters, and that whenever people see him, they should think about unity and togetherness. He also made sure to say this wasn't done for cameras, claiming his family is far too authentic for that kind of performance. Pap then said he hoped the moment would inspire other families to reconnect, adding that the reunion made his day and thanking them for the Father's Day gift. He wrapped everything up with love, emojis, and a Father's Day message directed toward what he called the real fathers out there. So this was the energy Pap decided to put out on Father's Day. And this was basically the message sitting on his page throughout most of the holiday. The part that immediately stood out to me was that there was still no acknowledgement of his other 3 children anywhere to be found. And I'm not going to lie, that looked a little unusual. Normally, when people make a post like this, especially on a day dedicated to fathers, there's at least some sort of follow-up recognizing all of their children. Even if he wanted to highlight that family reunion, you'd expect a post before or after saying how proud he is to be the father of all 4 of his kids. That's why I kept asking myself, what exactly are we looking at here? But this is where things started getting even more interesting. It wasn't until much later that evening, somewhere around 9 or 10 o'clock, that Pap appeared to suddenly remember he had a broader Father's Day message to share with Instagram. That late-night post read, "I have knocked down walls, climbed mountains, and done the impossible for mine." The authenticity and sincerity of a real father can never be questioned. #Happy Father's Day. The message came attached to a 12-slide photo carousel, and many viewers quickly noticed that one particular child appeared throughout much of the post. But for me, the bigger issue wasn't even the photos themselves. It was the timing. Waiting until the very end of the day made it feel like one child had been positioned as the main focus while the others were quietly pushed into the background. Maybe that wasn't the intention, but that's absolutely how some people interpreted it. Personally, I've always believed that whether you're active on social media or not, nobody is obligated to post on holidays or special occasions. However, when someone constantly seeks recognition and applause for doing the basic things expected of a parent, people are naturally going to take a closer look at moments like this and start asking questions. Honestly, the way everything unfolded, this is pretty much what I expected would happen. It felt like one child was going to receive most of the attention throughout the day, and then later there would be a broad Father's Day post designed to include everyone else and reinforce the image of being a devoted father. But situations like this naturally raise eyebrows. They make people wonder whether relationships with certain children are being influenced by whatever issues may exist between the parents. When viewers begin noticing different levels of public attention, they can't help but wonder if some kids are having a different experience than others. And that's when the conversation starts getting uncomfortable. Does a child need to be in a certain position or maintain a certain relationship to receive acknowledgement? I don't know the answer, but I completely understand why people are asking. From the outside looking in, it appeared as though one child held the spotlight for nearly the entire day. Then later, a larger post appeared after plenty of people had already started noticing the imbalance. That's simply the impression it created for many observers. Personally, I'm not buying it. This is exactly why I always say either post or don't post. Because if you're going to publicly celebrate parenthood while highlighting only one child and leaving the others out of the conversation for most of the day, people are absolutely going to notice. That's how discussions about favoritism begin. That's how families end up dealing with feelings that one child is valued more than another. Put yourself in the other children's shoes for a moment. Imagine opening social media and seeing the major Father's Day post focused almost entirely on one sibling while everyone else seemed like an afterthought. That's the kind of thing people remember. And what makes this even more interesting is that the reunion post appeared to involve a FaceTime screenshot, which suggests they may not have actually been together in person for Father's Day. Instead, it looked like the focus was on showing they had reconnected and were all on good terms. So now you're dealing with two separate issues at the same time. First, the main Father's Day spotlight appears centered around a child who may not have even spent the day physically with her father. Then later, the remaining children receive acknowledgement through a separate post near the end of the holiday. I can't lie, the entire thing came across as highly performative to me, and that's exactly why the messaging stood out so much. The people who constantly emphasize authenticity, sincerity, and not doing things for social media are often judged the hardest when their actions seem to tell a different story. Because this entire situation felt very social media driven, it almost looked like there was a desire to publicly celebrate the fact that a family conflict had been resolved and then collect credit for helping make it happen. Meanwhile, acknowledgement of the other children didn't arrive until Father's Day was practically over. So when you're saying this isn't about attention, cameras, or online validation, viewers are naturally going to compare those statements to what they actually watched unfold throughout the day. And here's where things become even messier. If family truly comes first, then people expect all family members to be treated with equal importance. What many critics are pointing out is that the spotlight seemed selective. Certain relationships appeared to receive public emphasis while others were quietly pushed into the background. That's why some people are comparing the behavior to patterns they've criticized before. To them, it looks transactional. It looks like attention and acknowledgement are being handed out differently depending on the circumstances. Whether that's fair or not is certainly up for debate, but that's absolutely the conversation happening online right now. At the end of the day, whatever personal issues exist between adults should never spill over onto the children involved. Kids shouldn't end up dealing with reduced attention, awkward dynamics, or public favoritism because of conflicts they had absolutely nothing to do with. And that's why so many people are pushing back against the narrative. They're not rushing to hand out praise for a late-night Father's Day post when the earlier actions created a completely different impression. From their perspective, the focus was clearly on one child for most of the holiday, and the broader family acknowledgement only arrived later. If you're proud of your children, then celebrate all of them equally. That's the expectation many people have. And interestingly enough, this situation has also caused some viewers to revisit comments that were made years ago by Remy Ma. Because every time something like this happens, people start connecting dots and comparing today's actions to past accusations. Whether that's justified or not, one thing is crystal clear. Old claims have a funny way of resurfacing whenever new situations seem to support.